And I, personally, I'm interested, but I think it's also great for those that are thinking about voting for you as well. Like, how do you counteract that in there and not get to that stage? And I know, your beliefs are going to fall into it, and that I can tell you're a man who's going to keep fighting for it and not get disheartened. But what's the idea, or how do you keep moving forward when you hit because, I know from being law enforcement, you go, cool, I'm going to get into this role and I'm going to change all these things. And then everybody around you is like, nah, 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 nah. And you get all these roadblocks. What's your strategy to overcome those roadblocks, I guess? Thinking about that kind of end in sight. I'm going to
That's a great
ask you the
question.
hard questions here. I
That's a
apologize,
great
Denny.
question. First off, again, it goes back to the do you believe it is possible?
Hmm,
Like, if you believe it's possible, if you
very
believe it
possible.
can be done, you'll free up your brain to find solutions and find resources that will help,
Hmm,
right? Um, I think it again coming from a position of faith and knowing that I was telling a supporter of mine the other day. He said, there's days where I just feel like I'm just the tip of the spear. Like there's things I don't know, there's people I don't know, there's so much out there to know that I don't know. I'm just the tip of the spear.
hmm.
But when you know who is holding the handle and you intimately trust that it's God holding the handle and he's the one shoving the spear where he wants to shove the spear, that gives me a lot of comfort that if I don't have the answer right now to how this is going to work, that the solutions will come.
Also put another thing when you said tip of the spear, I think again, my background, law enforcement, knowing lots of law enforcement military that have done spec ops type stuff, and me doing, our version of Secret Service, tip of the spear makes the biggest impact though as well.
Yeah.
You
But you
know,
got to be
there
willing to be that.
you gotta
You
be
got to
willing
know that
to
you're going to get
sacrifice in
dirty and
that for it.
bloody and you might get wrecked.
Mm.
You really might. And that's one of the first conversations I had with my wife and kids around this was this is going to take most of the money that we have in addition to whatever we get from contributions.
Mm.
Um, and there's a very real chance that if we're successful, that this might end in physical harm to some
I
of
was gonna
us.
say it can put with the things that you're talking about. That was going to be my next question: is how is the fact that I know that you'll be aware of it, but the target that it can put on your back from how you deal with that and how you
Yep.
because it does. You're talking about taking money out of people's pockets, and people don't like money out of their pockets.
But they're taking money out of everyday American pockets right
Exactly.
now, and a lot of it.
Yeah. Well,
I
you see
mean,
it. You see it.